Let me make sure we good and running with the internet. I had just switched to the broadband. I'm sorry, switched to the far line. All right, but it says that we running. It says that we live. I got the red little drain up on me. All right, let me make
Yeah,
sure.
we're live.
You would? We live?
We're live, pal.
We're live, pal.
Yeah.
All right, my nigga. I should bet. I should bet. I should bet. All right, so I'm about to go ahead and hit record on GarageBand. All right, in three, two, one. Yo, 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 what is going on? It's I the Most High, and I'm with my tag team partner, CT, aka Chitty Bang. What's happening, my nigga?
What's happening? And we are the Underground of Professional Wrestling Podcast. If you don't know, now you know. We're here chilling, about to smoke up some good weed, as we always do,
You already
and
know.
talk about the week that was in professional wrestling. But first, I have to address something.
Oh, you gotta address what?
Drop the bomb for me real quick, boy. Listen. Drop the bomb for your boy because I'm here to. I want all the smoke. If you guys saw this week, if you guys are paying attention on the YouTube, Bangers was interrupted with a rant this week. So I gotta cut a promo on my boy. I'm sorry to do it to him. My boy, the joint roller Ayatollah, the Most High, the heel with the baby face pop. Listen, I'm here to tell you that I'm just a motherfucking heel, boy. I'm just a motherfucking heel. You may be the heel, baby. I'm just a motherfucking heel. And when I come on this reasonable wrestling shit, nobody is better at making points than your boy. Listen, he says that there should not be a draft. Well, listen to me. I challenge you, man. You want a reasonable debate? Draft? Should there be a draft? I challenge you. Next month, February, Patreon, we got this going. Listen, draft for draft. Should there be a draft? Should there not be a draft? I have my points. You got your points. Clearly, people got their points too on Twitter and all. But I'm telling you, I'm coming with that heat, and I'm here to smoke you because
You hear the smoke?
I'm here to smoke you because when it
Oh,
comes to your take about top heavy and all this shit, the way you frame the conversation, I mean, it's crazy that a little short white girl called Liv Morgan can spur up this emotion from you. That's like, man, that's not top heavy. If there was
I'm gonna
if
keep
there was
it.
one roster, she's not getting a chance. Well, guess what? Maybe she won't. Maybe Liv Morgan won't get a chance. But I believe that women's wrestling, men's wrestling at the top of the game in WWE, there should be one champion. Yeah, we've been doing this for 20 years now. 20 years. Time to change it up. Radical shift. And no more draft. Only the best matches happen each and every fucking week. Only the best matches fucking happen. If you can't get over, that's on your ass. And you can't be on top. You can't be on top. That's it. You know, increase the competitive. Like you competitive. Yeah, if you got the mid card title, you got the tag team championships. Everybody gets a chance to hold gold. Listen, once you go from NXT to the main roster nowadays, people expect everybody to have the title. Listen, there's people like Macho Man Randy Savage that took. We know him for his reigns, but it took him so long to become WWE champion. He was multi-time Intercontinental champion for a reason back then because there were people at the top. It was top heavy. And guess what? It never stopped him. It only hungered him to become WWE champion one day. And when he became it, it mattered. I don't want all this hot potato shit. So I have my takes. I got my reasons for why I believe it's about that time. Let's go back to the old school. Let's switch it up. One
but
champion at the top.
but why though? Tell me what's the like my thing is that you say where's the smoke? I don't hear no smoke. I don't hear nothing. Like I made my points and I said that listen, you want one title, you saying get rid of the draft. Well, guess what? Liv Morgan is over, my nigga. But guess who else is over? So is Sasha Banks. So is goddamn Bianca Belair. So is goddamn Becky Lynch. So is goddamn Like I mean, in the list, it takes a minute. Like it's the classic sports debate, right? They be like, well, how long does it take you to get to so and so's name? And to be honest, if it's one title and you talking about no more hot potato shit, well, shit, Liv is just gonna be a run of the mill challenger because
So be it. And here's what I was saying last week. I think from where we are today, and you go forward, yeah, Liv will be a women's champion one day, based on what WWE does. Absolutely, I believe from today on. But if you're saying that if they did this a couple years ago, would she have gotten the shot that she had already with Becky? I don't believe so. You're right. You have a great point that it would be too top heavy for her to even get a shot. I think this is a perfect time to shift the narrative, man. If you're wrestling for WWE, there's no guarantee you're going to be Intercontinental Champion. There's no guarantee you're going to be WWE Champion or Women's Champion or Tag Champion. There's one tag title for women, one tag title for men, and one main title for men. That's it. And maybe a mid-card title for the women and men too, to give it some props to the workers who are out there busting their ass, putting on match after match, great matches. That's all you really need. And I think that shift in WWE, it would change the landscape for them a little bit. And it would bring some more excitement for me personally. And I believe it would also narrow the focus to, okay, these are the top champions. These are the people who, when you come to WWE, you're going to be seeing, it's not going to be, hey, we just have a Raw house show, SmackDown house show here. Who pick your champion? It's not, now it's like, hey, we bring a certain type of prestige to it, rather than just saying, hey, we have this is all business. Because business-wise, I get why there's a draft. Business-wise, I completely understand it. And we can do a reasonable debate. I hear you on that point because I can see where you can make a lot of money because having 2 drafts, 2 titles, selling multiple titles and all that shit. But I'll tell you, when I talk to people and they ask me who the champion is, they want to know who's the one at the top.
No,
the one.
I'm not.
No pun intended.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I highly doubt that if niggas, I highly doubt that if niggas ain't been watching wrestling for 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, niggas ain't been watching wrestling for 20 years, and they want to know if there's a Rock or a Stone Cold. Well, there's multiple Rocks and Stone Colds, my nigga. Like, these niggas are...
I don't think so. I don't think in this day and age there are multiple. I think that there are many people that can wrestle. There's more Bret Harts and Shawn Michaels right now than there are Rock and Stone Cold. There are people who are really great performers in that ring, and there's a heavy influx of that. So we can get great matches on Raw, SmackDown. Go ahead.
Rock and Stone Cold is transcending the sport, correct?
Absolutely.
Sasha Banks is one of those, correct?
We'll see. I think she has.
She's there already. What are you talking about? She's just.
I think
the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is just.
Okay. Yes. You're right. She's there already. Who else?
Okay, we got. Well, if we're talking about in the last, I guess we can't say last 15 years because Cena don't really count.
That's Cena. That's it, really.
Cena,
Sasha Banks, Cena, and that's it.
Well, I mean, who else was?
They gotta go out. They gotta bring in people like Ronda. We'll talk about that in a second. But when they talk about the way WWE is going, I get it. They're changing to a new level, a new area in their business model. And if you want shit, we can just start with business and logic, honestly, because they're moving towards a more catering toward a specific people type of vibe. And well, I think that go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we can you got in the show sheet here, should WWE end the draft? And do you want to run that topic? Because I think
let's go.
I think okay, so look. We got should WWE in the draft, right?
All right.
And with that being said, right, what I stated is that the draft, yes, it is a money thing, right? Which you can understand. But you're stating that if you can't get over, you just can't get over. That then I don't know how that fucking makes your mid-card better when you got people fighting over one title or 2 titles. Like the roster is more vast than it was back in the 90s or 2000s, to where you do have to placate and make these trophies available for people. Like there has to be.
I think that you shouldn't placate it. I think that you should, stick firm in what you believe as a company. And granted, that means that we might see people that we don't want to be seen getting a shot. That and obviously there's always going to be a debate on who you think deserves and who doesn't, or who you think earned it and who didn't. I believe that will always be there, no matter what champions are there or not, whether how many there are. I think that this is an opportunity when you have this main event at Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble, it's Seth Rollins, a Raw superstar, versus Roman Reigns, a SmackDown superstar.
Mhm.
I'm happy because I can see through it as a fan. It's like this is just a really good match, and that they're doing booking wise. It's something that fits right now because there's nothing else on SmackDown for Roman to compete with. I see that, bro. I completely see that. However, when it comes down to, like you said, WWE has their own universe. They set the rules in that universe. In that universe, you have to cover somebody. The ref has to hit the mat 3 times, and the person who's on top wins the match. So if somebody were to come and it will be a 2 count, and they won the match, people will say, "Hey, that's not what you guys set up as a rule. You guys set up the rule, and now you guys changed it." So they will be upset clearly. And now, granted, that's a larger scale thing because it goes to the finish of the match. But the draft is just as equal as a rule they set up in their own universe that, hey, if you're on one brand, you're going to be exclusive. If you're on the other brand, you're going to be exclusive. So at this point, just end it if you're going to be doing these kind of,
I don't, but
go ahead.
I don't think that's the case. Like, you heard my rant? What did I say in the rant? It's just like sports. You're not fucking like you're seeing right now. You don't have to be fucking glued to a team because you signed a 7-year contract, $400 million. Like
If you're talking about sports, I think the relationship between sports and wrestling is more like, all right, if you're going from AEW to WWE or NXT or something like that, I don't look at it as Raw, SmackDown, NXT.
But that's how the draft was. That's how the draft began, though. Like they did a draft because back in the day, like
but you realize they don't respect the rule that they set. So they did a draft, split it up, but this wasn't a trade. This was just, we're just gonna write this in that set. That's gonna be, just put in the spot. So I look at it as a combination between theater, television show, and combat sports. That's what I see it as. So as far as the combat sports, you're checking a box with this match, 100%. And I'm not saying I'm mad that this is happening, or I'm losing my mind, or it can't happen, or people are. I've never been mad about this decision. Actually, I was like, all right, I get it. But with the people who are saying, hey, why shouldn't we end the draft? I completely hear them, because I think that they want some consistency in their wrestling, and I know that I guess you come from a place of you shouldn't expect it. Well, I think there's a lot of people that constantly ask for more out of their wrestling, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you say, "Oh, WWE," there's some people that are out there. WWE can piss on them, telling them misrating, and they're going to accept it because they're like, "Well, that's what it is," and they're going to get mad at people because WWE has been this way all the time. But there's going to be people who are vocal about, "Hey, we see what you're doing, and we kind of don't like this when this happens." It's going to be critiques. There's always going to be a critique.
You're making that to be. You're making what just happened. That's what is frustrating me, because like you're saying we should want more from our wrestling. This is more from our wrestling. We're getting but like we're getting a fucking
no, but it is more. If you're talking about the booking standpoint, like I said, I was fine with it me personally. But when we're talking about the other side of the coin, people are going to talk about why they're the ones who are saying, all right, why didn't you just keep him? Why is the draft not, what you said it was? They don't have to market the draft as exclusive. They don't got to market it as, hey, it's the one time, or Survivor Series is the one time a year, Raw versus SmackDown. Because once you do something like this, it looks like a marketing ploy. And some fans are going to be like, damn, I thought it's special when these things happen. Now it's just like, hey, we 2 months ago you have one roster. Right now you have one roster. You might as well just not have the draft. So that's what people are saying.
We didn't have one. What are we talking about? We always had separate rosters.
But you know what I mean, as far as the way they're using their roster and the way they're telling you they're using their roster. You feel me?
No, I don't, because Survivor Series blended in and fucked up storylines that they had on separate rosters, which is why I said they fucked up and put the draft in the wrong spot. You don't have to have a draft be because you blended storylines for Survivor Series. That's what fucked up where it is now. Like, my thing is, like, where else is the draft inefficient in this aspect outside of Seth Rollins going to wrestling Roman Reigns? Where else?
The tag division. The tag division should be on one tag title. I've been saying this for 3 years. That's where I think is inefficient. You know, because I think there would be better tag teams if you had one title where you just have better, singles. Just one main tag team. You get tag team wrestling with this title. That's it. And they can go from Raw to SmackDown. I think that and mind you, we don't have to go to one draft to do that. But even doing something as small as that, there's one champion or there's one tag champion, which make there be like, all right, the champions can go back and forth, and that makes it easier to accept in your universe that you create. But some people stick to the rules of like what they set in wrestling, and then when things like this happen, they're like, well, it changes their way of thinking about it. But at the end of the day, they're gonna watch the match, they're gonna be happy.
But you're asking the question, why should they end the draft? You're saying that they should end the draft because of one inefficient rule change that okay.
If you do a draft and 2 months later it's depleted because one person got injured, then the draft's supposed to be like a year long thing, then yeah, you might as well end it because you're gonna have to do this anyways. You feel me?
Not necessarily, because all I say is that you make the fucking draft equal. I don't give a fuck that Raw got.
But how do you make it equal? That's my thing.
What do you mean? How you make? Just don't give all the fucking people to Raw. That's how you make it equal, nigga. You shouldn't have Bobby, Seth, Big E, KO, Edge all on fucking Raw, nigga. They shouldn't all be on Raw. Finn Balor, AJ Styles, they're all on.
There's another flaw on the Raw. There's another flaw right there in the draft. They're making one show top heavy. So you might as well just end this shit. Because that's 3 flaws like we just brought up in the past, 3 minutes. So I'm like, just end it, make it one roster, and then figure it out from there. I think that we're in 2020, even 20 years of the draft, and then go another 20 years of just being one champion, and then maybe the draft will be relevant one day again. But right now, you just fired a whole bunch of people, and on top of that, there's injuries and people are now having to be swapped. Just remove that little plot hole that people are then saying is a plot hole. At the end of the day, that's just a script writing thing. Now, could we just sit back and just accept it?
Okay,
of course.
So you always have to try. Let me ask you this: if WWE should end the draft because it's plot points, should AEW end the fucking wins-loss records? Because what the fuck does that mean? Like, and I'm not trying to be whataboutism, but like my point
is whataboutism. But I know what you're trying to say. I mean, at this point with the wins and losses, they can keep that for now. I think that they can find and rehabilitate it. Private Party is getting a championship match because they are number one. So it's not like it's completely irrelevant. However, I hear your point. If long term they get to a place where they're completely irrelevant, then yeah, they should end it too. I agree. Like there's sometimes where companies can make radical creative decisions that shit the history of that company, and it may be for the better, or maybe for the better for the viewer. You never know. So it's something that is a conversation that can be talked about, and I see both sides, honestly.
Well, I think ultimately too. Let's bring up business and logic, right? I think business wise, Fox and Universal are also like, well, hey, they got that guy, they got that girl. Why we like those things do matter in the sense.
I wonder, do they really want exclusive, or do they just want SmackDown?
I don't think I think that's the thing now, because at that point, this is the first time, right? This is the first time I believe WWE has operated where both their shows wasn't under one umbrella.
One network.
You know what I mean? And
because it hasn't been exclusive, because Big E was just on SmackDown along with Seth, obviously. So there really, if you think about it, there really is not a brand split. Like in reality, there isn't, because it's WWE. They can do whatever they want with the talent they hire. However, creatively, there is a brand split. Then they got to say something on the mic to say, hey, it's Royal Rumble time. Hey, it's Survivor Series time. Like they have to say something to say why they're doing it. So it's, to me, as a fan, you can see like, all right, you guys don't really have to do this unless, like you're saying, business wise, Fox is saying we want exclusive people that will be here or expected to be here every show, and then that's the thing they would have to talk to with Fox and USA to see if that's something they can maneuver around. If
Well,
not, then I guess
it's nothing that they can maneuver. It's $1 billion.
if
I
not,
do whatever the money says. Yeah.
they have a relationship with USA and all them. They can maneuver around and say, hey, listen, we're going to be using all our roster on both shows because we just did some budget cuts and everything. Vince has a lot of power, more than you think, I think, in these situations.
Oh, for sure.
And
For sure.
and if you wanted to do that creatively, they can say like, all right, we're still getting the show for this many hours on this TV show, so you're not getting paid to do creative decisions.
So logically, though, if we thinking like that, does it matter as much now? If you know that Vince just has to placate the business, and then he has to just come on screen and say something, because ultimately,
if he has to placate business, I don't know if that's the case. I really don't. They might just say, listen, we're booking you for these 3 hours, these 2 hours, we're paying you this much. We don't care what you guys do at the time, as long as you don't do something that's offensive to people.
Exactly.
That might be it. We don't know what it is, but if they have creative control over the show in some fashion, then maybe then I completely understand it. Then you got to get around it some way somehow.
I can also believe that Fox and Universal and NBC Universal, they compare the numbers, right? Because they're competitors. They're not together. Like, they're not in partnership. You feel me? So I'm pretty sure Fox looks at fucking numbers and I'm just saying, I'm not saying that's a big part of it, but I'm ultimately saying that if what I'm saying is that Big E was on Fox, Big E was on SmackDown, Big E was the Intercontinental Champion, and Big E was one of the reasons why people came to Friday Night SmackDown. Big E became WWE Champion after winning Money in the Bank while as a SmackDown superstar, and Big E could have been a reason why people came to Friday nights on Fox. Fox probably realized and said, hey.
But became champion on Raw.
Yeah,
so at the end of the day,
and Fox could have been like, hey, we took a dip, and we would like that back. You know what I mean?
Do you think that Big E is that much of a draw that
I'm not gonna say Big E, but Seth Rollins was also on SmackDown too. Seth Rollins was on. I mean, the combination of everything, I'm assuming, can like.
If we have like demo guides or whatever you want to say, where you can say, okay, we can analyze it and say, oh, Seth was this impactful for this segment, and then Fox knows it. Like, because I don't know if Fox is that much in the weeds of like what's going on per second.
Quarter hours matter for national television. This is
no, okay, that makes money.
This is money. This is advertisement dollars. There's all types of shit. It's regional, right? Because you play your Fox wherever regional you're at. But if wrestling is mattering, if you're doing promotions or spots saying, coming to your town, Big E from SmackDown Live is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma. You're rolling that, you know what I mean? Now you got fucking promos for Otis. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't slapping the same.
But my thing is, without a draft, you got the whole roster to come to freaking your show. You don't got to single down to like Otis. You can be like, oh, any WWE superstar can come. No shade to Otis, because shout out to Alpha Academy.
Alpha Academy, man.
The levels to this, I guess.
it's tears, as we say. You know what I mean? Yeah. But since we was on on the wave of business and logic. Do you have that tweet up from earlier?
I don't have the tweet. I don't got the tweet. I can pull it up on my phone.
Hold on, let me search real quick.
I got the tweet. Yeah, it's right here actually.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah. So for business and logic this week,
all right.
WWE.
Hello?
So Warner Media actually was upset about WWE's quote in the Toronto Star, and they took a personal attack at AEW and the Tainara Conti and Jay Penelope Ford match. Who else was in the match?
It was Bunny, Penelope Ford versus Conti and Jay.
So they took a shot at AEW and left a statement in the Toronto Star saying, If you look at gory self-mutilation that bloodied several women in the December 31st event on TNT, it quickly becomes clear that these are very different businesses.
Oh,
We had an edgier product in the Attitude Era. And in 2022 world, we don't believe that type of dangerous and brutal display is appealing to network partners, sponsors, venues, children, or just general public as a whole. Listen, when it comes down to WWE and their statements, they know how to word shit, man. But I think they're hating. I think this is hate.
it is hate, but it also so I made a point on the phone, and I hope I can regurgitate it the way I did on the phone because I'm really good at freestyling. When I had said that, um, it when we're talking about a whole, right? When we're talking about wrestling as a whole, the sports entertainment thing as a whole, um, it's almost kind of like black people, right? What one black person does affects the whole type of how you look at black people type shit. You know what I mean? So okay, when they did the pizza slicing thing with Nick Gage and Jericho, and then right after that they had a Domino's commercial. Domino's took exception to that and was like, "Nigga, don't spot us after that spot, nigga. That ain't what we trying to motherfucking you should have."
Pizza cutter slice, yeah.
So I can see how the branding of wrestling can be hurt when it is gory and it's bloody and it's on network television, and you know what I mean, because AEW is all elite wrestling, WWE is World Wrestling Entertainment. So my thing is, white people and these billions of dollars that's giving out money, like you say, Chidi, a lot of white people don't probably look at demographics and shit like that, but nigga, they can do a Google search of wrestling, and if the first thing that comes out is blood, they might not want that on their TV. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah. Honestly, it's still hate. Listen,
yeah.
they had a great they had a great match. Listen, they had a great match. WWE, like they said, they used to have the Attitude Era. They know what this is. They're just playing the PC game, and that's fine. I guess we're in that era.
It wasn't okay. I'm gonna be honest, Chidi. You said it's a great match, but you didn't see the it was
it clearly got a reaction.
It got a great reaction, got a great pop. But those girls, honestly, they did a good job. My thing was, it wasn't hard way. It was if we're trying to be as
Okay.
if we're trying to be as blunt as possible, there was a lot of blading. You feel me?
Well, AEW does do blading.
But my
Sometimes,
thing, if you're those are four. I'm not. Those aren't experienced women. Those aren't fucking experienced. That's like
they're going out there wrestling. They're wrestlers. They've been doing this for multiple years.
cheating.
You want to go out there?
Hold on, yeah. Eddie Guerrero cut himself too deep, and he knows. And he was a fucking 20. That fucking bloody match with JBL. He cut himself too deep. It's a science to it. It's a technique to it.
I get it.
Oh.
I get it. There's a technique to it. There's a science to it. Did Sayonara Conti pass out? No. So at the end of the day, this is hate. If there was some incident where she cut herself too deep, then you have a point because she did it, but she did it correctly. There's also an art to it, like you said. So she's not in the hospital right now. So at the end of the day, if the men can go out there and blade in AEW, then the women should be able to go out there and do it as an art.
I had a problem with Dustin's blade job too, and it was bringing back blade jobs and bringing back blood and wrestling. I think it's not tasteless. I'm not about to go there and say no shit like that. You know what I mean? It's not tasteless. But what I am going to say is that, listen, at the end of the day, the reason why WWE probably said or did what they did or commented the way that they said is because they didn't want nobody else probably dictating or fucking up their money. So to be as farly distanced as possible as what it is that they're doing, that's what they do.
Yeah.
So that it can be hate, but it can be like, look, nigga, I don't mumble.
Yeah, at the same time, I think that WWE is in a different stratosphere when it comes to the wrestling industry. Obviously, they're the Disney, the Amazon, the Apple of wrestling industry, and they're trying to compete with those companies actually, and to do their own thing. Absolutely, and more power to Vince and the WWE and what they've built as a company. So they have these. They're trying to be a global product. So they got these markers they got to hit and their goals they're trying to make. And hey, more power to them. For me and what I like in wrestling, I don't mind it too much. But what I will say is that this definitely changes what I expect from WWE. So I know that they're trying to do this, and I think that to myself that when you have things like Be a Star and all these other things that are catered towards the philanthropic things they do with breast cancer awareness, and they will have a more wholesome edge. They're trying to bring that kind of wrestling, something that's a violent, performance.
Exactly.
So kind of weigh the balances between that. I can see how it could be difficult as a company and to promote that. Like
It's
I
not
just said
just a
on my last,
company, it's a genre though.
a genre,
It's a genre. Like I'm protect, and it may be like it's narcissism, but they can say like I'm protecting.
they're protecting the bag, and just so that the more money the better. Obviously, if you have partners and people that are interested in you being successful, that they don't want to also have a certain images on TV. I get it. Like I said on a couple of bangers ago that I wanted R-Truth to come out there and smoke weed, smoke in arenas again. And a lady was out there saying, "Think of the children," So at that point, and when you hear that,
No, but
you
what you
think of the
say, TD?
children.
What you say?
I said, "Fuck them kids," That's what I said. But I said, "Fuck them kids." I missed that R-Truth. That he tapped into another gear for me. Now I'm a grown ass man, so I can't be talking about what it means to how do you appeal to the young audience in wrestling, because I don't really know. When I see like certain things in wrestling now, I'm getting older and I'm like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I didn't get Orange Cassidy for a long time.
I
This week we
still
saw
don't
Dan.
get Orange Cassidy.
I get him now.
I
Now
don't, and I need him
I
to
see
think
Danhausen
out of.
on AEW. I have no idea who that is, and I don't get it. But they popped for him like crazy. I don't know this kid, but there's certain things that I'm like, hey, maybe there's certain things that are for me wrestling, things that are not. I know I like hardcore wrestling. I know I like blading. So I'm gonna go to where I find it, and that's AEW. But that's hating. That's hating. And they have the right to. They have the right to hate, and they have the right to handle the business accordingly how they want. Because AEW is now cornered the market, and they're actually growing in a space of their own. So I fuck with it, and it's just there's more room to go around in the wrestling industry, which is cool.
I mean, that's great. I mean, it is fantastic, and shout out to, like you say, shout out to fucking uh, 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 AEW. You know what I mean? They're kind of in a wave of GCW, right? GCW just had a great event, sold out the Hammerstein. You know what I mean? And they offer that crazy blood and guts and gory shit, and it fits the market because it's independent, right? They're not trying to be mainstream. They're not trying to necessarily.
They're the ECW of modern day in a sense.
But that's great because they're not trying to fuck up the bag, though.
Of course, yeah. Because I feel like
commercial,
we're underground.
Bag,
Just like GCW's underground, we're underground. And I believe that avenue of going, it takes a long road to be known as a premier company or a premier podcast even. But you are doing it your own way. And GCW has found a way to get buzz year after year. And they have this great business mind. Joey Janela, Spring Break, For the Culture, how they put things together for the women, and that just catering to wrestling fans who are talking about what they want, and they actually give it to you, So if you want the hardcore death matches, they got it. If you want if you want black representation, they got it, and they found a way to provide you women's wrestling too. So it's like, but at the same time, they're GCW is the main thing, and they're still growing. But to sell out Hammerstein Ballroom, and I wish I had an image for this one, but to sell out Hammerstein Ballroom is a huge like milestone for that company. So I'm very proud of what they've been building.
Shout out to GCW, man. They really want to fucking holding it down, and like you say, AEW, they're finding they finding themselves to where they are a blend of, they're offering that that early 2000s wrestling, right? Because ROH at the same time will give it to you hard ways where you got Samoa Joe and Davey Richards and fucking Kenta and Brian Danielson and fucking CM Punk, and ROH really. I think that's what
just wait until Okada comes back. Comes to the States. I mean, I'm telling you, it's gonna be crazy out there.
Listen, I root for AEW, and that's why I say that, because if they're going to be as global as they want to be, the partnership with New Japan is going to help them. And I think that if they can pass over wrestling to what, because like you say, storytelling, right? New Japan don't have that shit just for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't ever see necessarily a lot of color in New Japan. I may be wrong. I don't see a lot of color. I'm not saying I don't see.
I mean, MVP was the first,
No,
IWGP.
well, not melanin, but I mean blood colored.
Color. I'm like, they have some color.
No, I don't see.
But
I don't see New Japan with a lot of blood. I don't see the.
But I see you. Yeah.
So when
it's in particular moments they do. Yeah.
So what I'm
But I
saying,
like that.
so what I'm saying is that if AEW is expected to give us blood all the time, not all the time,
I hope not.
Then that means it kind of does hurt the business. Are you able to branch out and get Japan and bring?
Well, you just gave all this props for GCW. It hasn't hurt their business. So clearly there's a market for it.
But
so
if you're independent though, that's what
I hear you. But if they're also not independent on TV, they still got to be different than WWE, And if the way they model their company right now, they are different. And if they don't have the same guidelines, and mind you, they're not the level of WWE, how long they've been in this business and being respected the way they've been. So they have the leisure to do it at this point in there. And,
That's correct. That's correct. That's a good point. That's a good point, bro. That's a good point.
I mean, do you think we would have, and we could transition and move over, but do you think we would have gotten a match like Sammy Guevara, Cody Rhodes in a WWE ring still? In a ladder match in that way? Even if there's no blading in that.
That type of ladder match?
Yeah.
That type of ladder match? Man. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. That was a fucking good ass match, bro.
It was amazing. Match. It was great. It was great. I think that the creativity that they provided in this match, the way they set it up, it worked. I think that I was excited going into the match for the match, not for the promo that Cody cooked. But the match itself, I think, was a star-making match for Sammy and Cody. Honestly, both of them. Honestly, I think that this is a staple, memorable ROH match. I mean, not ROH, AEW match that will be possibly in the list of what best matches of the year. I got two now.
That was match of the year candidacy right there.
Yeah, you got Daniel Bryan, Hangman Page, and then you got this for me. And those are my two matches so far this year that I've been like, yeah, they fit the bill. So, I mean, when it comes to the TNT Championship, Sammy Guevara is going to be a staple for that, and he's putting it on the map with matches like this. And I told you way back when they had that War Games match. I forgot what they billed it as, but they had a War Games match between the Inner Circle and the was it the Pinnacle?
Yeah,
the Pinnacle. Yeah, it was awesome. But everybody was talking about Chris Jericho's fall off the cage, but to me, it was really Sammy Guevara and Shawn Spears that stole the show for me. Those two guys performed like maniacs in that ring. They did a great job, and Sammy Guevara went off. So he's carved out his own path, and just shout out to Sammy Guevara all around. But I don't think that WWE provides even this, even though there's no blading, it's still a work of art that I'm like, all right, let's see if WWE can keep up, with the quality for the fans that do still yearn for this type of wrestling that may be a little bit more risk averse, or less risk averse.
Well, I'm gonna be honest though. You asked me will we have gotten that ladder match? So that AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Sami Zayn match wasn't this match, but it was a good match.
Yeah, for other reasons. Yeah,
you know what I mean. The WrestleMania Uso, Kofi, Morrison 3-way ladder match was a good match. So I'm not necessarily comparison shopping, but what aboutism? Will we have gotten this match, Sammy Guevara and Cody Rhodes? I don't know if we would have got this match.
If we did get this match, it wouldn't be on TV. It wouldn't be as long as it was.
Correct.
And they wouldn't be taking the risk that they took.
That would have been a pay-per-view match, and they would have cut down on They would have did some of the risk though. They would have did some of the risk because KO jumped off the building. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean. Like they.
Yeah, he's just crazy though. That's KO. He's nuts. And that's why he should have went to AEW because he could do more crazy shit with these guys. But no, so
You should not go to AEW. You should stay in WWE so he can live for his family, nigga.
No, shout out to KO. Do what you want. Do what's best for you and your family.
Nigga, he'll take his crazy ass over there and jump off a goddamn real building, nigga.
But yeah, you know, anyways, but this is just gonna be one of those matches that we remember in AEW history, honestly. And Sammy Guerrero made a statement, so shout out to him. He's definitely been incredible over the past couple of years, but this match honestly takes him to the next level.
Yeah, that match was fantastic, bro. The triple jump cutter off the ladder,
unbelievable,
was an unbelievable spot.
He jumped off the very top of the ladder.
Bro, the senton off the jump that didn't. Bro, I thought he really fucked himself up. I
thought he fucked himself up a couple of times when he fell off the ladder. He's like Cody just tilted the ladder. He almost landed awkwardly, almost like sprained his ankle or something. But he got up.
Cody did the crossroad. I thought he fucked his face up. You know what I mean? Like,
it was nuts, yo. So shout out to those two guys. Definitely a banger.
Now
we'll see where it lands on the list.
I know some of it was selling, but I know some of that shit hurt for real.
Oh, they were hanging from the bar and they had to fall the entire distance into the ring. And he had to take that superplex the entire distance, and it was a stalling superplex. He held them up for a little bit before they took over and fell over. It was just subtleties and incredible spots.
Cody
fell
down
at the right.
Cody fell down and hurt his, and it looked like he hurt his leg because he didn't fall flat back. He tried to fall on his feet, and I'm like, bro, like, why would you do that? It was dangerous. That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was.
So you gotta respect these two guys, even if you're not huge fans of them. When you go out there and you put on a show like that, you know that's all you can ask for in wrestling.
Respect
honestly.
and love to Cody Rhodes. I know I come on here and give him shit and say I say he shouldn't be wrestling. No, that spot shouldn't have been yours, but you know, thank you.
Hey, listen. He doesn't even got a contract, and he's doing this for us. So you gotta handle. The guy has heart. He doesn't even got a contract.
Listen, he's being well compensated as a motherfucking owner of the company. All right, you know.
All right. But an owner of the company that is just working. Hey, he's not getting paid for that. Or he's getting paid.
He's not getting paid for what? He's getting paid somehow. I can guarantee.
He's gonna get paid eventually, but he's not. He hasn't got a contract. It's just a handshake right now. He said.
Chidi, I can guarantee you. Listen, we run a company, okay.
He's getting paid, I know.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. It is a way. I'm buying Zaxby's on a credit card or something, nigga. You know what I mean? Like
by law, until that shit is signed, it's not paid. So yeah, but I hear you, man. But shout out to those two. They killed it. They killed it. But we were still in business of logic. We took a roundabout way. But let's go to Raw. We have a lot to talk about on Raw.
We knocked out a few segments though. That was a good.
We did. No, for real, we did. That was good. So we got some stuff out the way, but definitely, Raw it's been a good show, and especially this week. It had some really good wrestling. We can talk about the start of the show where the Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, they had a weigh-in, going into their match. I know it's the business logic, but let's just start with Raw.
No, we did business logic. We brought it up.
Oh, okay.
We did it.
All right.
Did you have more for it? Did you want to?
No, that's it. I mean, let's just go to Bobby and Brock. Let's just go to Bobby and Brock. That's it. What do you think about the weigh-in? What'd you think?
I thought it was a waste of fucking time, nigga. Let's get to this action, nigga. Like, I don't give a fuck how much these niggas weigh. They weigh a lot. What the fuck, nigga? Like, I wanted to see some action, dog. You feel me? Like, I wanted to see a stare down. I wanted to see an actual. And Brock went there with his boots, took his hat off. He didn't take that shit serious, nigga, because Brock only care about that action, nigga. Like, yeah,
I think Bobby's gonna beat him. I think Bobby's gonna beat him, man. I think he's been down. He's been over. shadowing Bobby this entire time. And Bobby's gonna pull it out and beat Brock. If he loses, it'll be sad thing, but
Is Brock going tap?
no, I don't think Brock could go on tap though. That would be crazy. That would be crazy if Brock taps out to the Hurt Lock.
So is Bobby
That's
gonna beat that? Is Bobby gonna pin that nigga, or is Brock gonna take? You say you think Brock gonna beat? You think Bobby gonna beat him? How he gonna beat him? Call your shot right now. How he gonna beat that nigga?
spear, pin in the ring, spear, kick out. I mean, and then spear again, kick out, and then a third spear, and then he's done.
3 spears.
3 spears at least.
3 spears. Wow.
3 spears. 3 spears. Maybe a dominator or something. But the Hurt Lock, man, could he beat him with that? I don't think so. I don't think so.
I
I don't think
mean,
so.
the Hurt Lock is
That's the move.
that is.
If he beats Brock with it, it's over. I mean, because nobody's really gotten out of it. Yeah, it's a possibility, but I don't see them taking that risk. But damn, if you're saying Bobby who and he walks out on him like that, come on, Bobby got to pull this out.
Listen, my thing is that Bobby Brock. I don't really give a fuck who win, nigga. Give
You want to
me
see bro?
that fucking action, nigga. I wanna.
Somebody suck that baby's dick. Somebody suck that baby's dick.
I need to feel that type of crazy after watching that match. You feel me? I need to feel Cuba Gooding Jr. on cocaine crazy after snorting Bobby and Brock that I asked somebody to suck a child's penis. That's what
Okay.
I feel like.
So, so let's say they shoot. I mean, they shoot. You just want to see them fight.
I want to see them fight, nigga. I want to see them fight. I want to see Brock say, I'm a bully, and I want to see if Bobby really is about that dog action. Yeah, I'm saying?
Okay.
I want to see it. I want to see them. They listen. You wrestle, I wrestle. You fight, I fight. You got them professional wrestle, I professional wrestle, nigga. However you want to get after it, let's get after it. And I want to see them niggas. I want to see them call it in the ring, nigga. That's what I want.
Okay. Call it in the ring. Let's go.
I
Let's
want
go.
it called in.
At this point, we just got to see the match. We just got to see it. Shout out to Bobby and Brock. We're very excited for Royal Rumble. It's gonna be, and I just hope that it lives up to the hype because WWE tends to play us sometimes, and they have an opportunity to do something special. So we'll see because everybody's watching. Everybody's watching. Bobby Brock.
Well,
this is it.
That's what I'm saying. Like Bobby Brock is it. You know what I mean? Like it's supposed to be it. That's what I'm saying. Like when you asking me what it is that I want, like that's what I want. I want them niggas to like get after it. Like because it's been anticipated for so long. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's necessary. I don't want no choreographed match. I don't want no like this is how it be. I want the agent to be like, bruh, y'all got 12 minutes, start to finish.
Go.
Blow the fucking roof off. And I want them niggas to look at each other and be like, I hit hard. I hit harder. And the music to play, nigga. And that's what I want. Nigga. Like that's all I want, nigga.
But Brock said, Bobby said that's what he likes about Brock. There's no soul. He said he likes that kind of shit. So
I gotta see if that's more than just a promo because I've seen that more from Brock. Like Brock done looked at a camera too many times and said, I don't give a fuck about this wrestling shit.
he straight up ducked Braun Strowman when he meet him.
He said that about Braun. He said that about Roman. He said that about Cena. Like he said about he really broke Triple H's arm, nigga. Like he put the.
I don't know if he really did that. Did he really? I don't know if that's a work. I still think that was a work, man. But it looked like he broke it.
Yeah, I did. Let's go back and watch the video and let's see Brock do the yank, and Triple H completely like loses it. Like you
Do you think Triple H told him to break his arm?
no.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Brock is a maniac, nigga. He's an absolute maniac. He's a fucking crazy person. And I want to see if Bobby is as crazy as that nigga.
Okay.
That's
All right. I'm there. I'm there.
That's what I want to see, man. And
there.
if Bobby is as crazy as Brock, he will win. Because listen, I think what happened, I was at WrestleMania 34, I believe it was a WrestleMania, the one in New Orleans. I honestly do believe Roman Reigns was supposed to win that match. But because Roman was absolutely not getting over, was not believable, or whatever the case may be, they signaled to the ref to change the match. If they got the mind for Bobby to go over and Bobby handles his business will go as planned. I think Bobby will win the match.
So you think they really called it in the ring with Roman's victory at WrestleMania? Like, oh, we're going to see how to react with him
get this shit out of here, bro. Nah. Because listen, if you remember, Brock held the title and was off TV again with the title because he wasn't planned to be champion. It wasn't written to be champion. So you know what I mean. Now you got the title, and that that goes back to the thing where WWE has to be stubborn, like you say, and be like, all right, if this is gonna be my guy, if this is gonna be my champion, this is just what it is. You know what I mean? And ultimately they got there, right? Roman is, their guy, you know what I mean? But now they're trying to figure it out with other people. Big E was the same way. Big E got the call. Let's see what happens. But then, listen, dog, you know what I mean? Like Seth is getting steam. Right, Seth is getting over it. Right, it's really hard to be like, do we want Seth as champion or do we want to push Big E as champion? No,
and that's why I want one WWE champion, because I think that would be such a great conversation to have. Like, all right, Seth is cooking, but Big E's really cooking. Let's see what they do at Elimination Chamber. Let's see what they do here, and see if they can take the next leap to be the next contender. Just even becoming the contender becomes a real thing. All right, who's next up becomes a real thing where you're saying, all right, who has more steam? And you're right, Seth did get hot. So Seth going to SmackDown is what's the right decision.
Was drafted to Raw from SmackDown. If they, and this is what I mean when I'm saying the inequality of the draft, and the draft does work. If when Seth beats Edge, if they just move Edge to Raw and leave Seth on SmackDown, Seth could have just lingered around and did whatever, cut promos and shit like that.
I mean, that makes perfect sense.
And when the opportunity presents itself, he's already there. He didn't need to go to Raw.
Mm-hmm. And I think they're trying to set up WrestleMania, and that's why they brought him there. I'm not sure if they knew what was going to happen, and they probably want to set some probably in the main event of WrestleMania on Raw, because they knew Roman was going to be there.
Yeah.
And they're like, strategically, let's throw him on Raw. Let's see what happens. And then they end up here, which is going to happen sometimes. And that's why, it is what it is. It's booking. I'm not going to get mad about booking. But you're right. That competitive nature comes from, that getting the ball and then seeing how it goes. And then, it might just be like, all right, it didn't work right now. We'll have to keep doubling back to it. Like Roman, over time, it then started to work. He got it. He understood how to, Matt hold himself there, but it takes some time. It takes some time for him, and I think it will take some time for Big E. And I think Seth has his own niche. He just has his own niche of how he does things. But this is about Bobby, and I think Bobby has his own niche, and this is about Brock, and we want to see them kind of tear it down. So with them, I think the wise decision is to put the title on Bobby.
Or you could have kept Big E on SmackDown with the Money in the Bank briefcase. He didn't have to cash in right away. You know what I mean? Now, I think what happened was, to be honest, I don't know, but I think Bobby had to step away for a little bit to get a procedure done, or to kind of maybe scope a knee out or whatever. Because if you pay, after Big E beat Bobby was off TV for a little bit. The only reason why I figured he was off of TV was to go get something taken care of. You know what I mean? So with that being said, he's on SmackDown, or Seth stays on SmackDown, or Big E stays on SmackDown, because
Bobby,
I would say that's how you.
I'm not mad at it though. Like Biggie had a championship run in the time, and we all wanted it. We got it. That's what we were asking for. And I think that he wouldn't have beat Roman. So like I just can't see them doing that. So I'm with it. I think that it works out the way that it was meant to work out, the best way it possibly could with the circumstances. So I'm here for the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble's definitely banging right now. It's looking like it's going to be a great show. We still got Becky and Piper or Doudrop. We got that, and then we got the Women's Royal Rumble, Men's Royal Rumble, obviously. But with the Women's Royal Rumble, there's a lot of rumor and speculation.
I was just about to say that business and logic is a thread throughout the show here, because there's a lot of conversation about, is she or isn't she? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey, not at the Rumble, but in the Rumble.
I've been hearing. You told me. I didn't know that people were saying that she's the number one in odds to win it.
There's money out there in Vegas for her winning the fucking Rumble.
Somebody in Vegas must have a tip. I'm telling you, somebody in Vegas must have a slight tip, because Ronda's from Vegas, right? Or she's from.
She is from Vegas. Yes, absolutely.
So I'm saying, like, if Vegas is over there betting on Ronda Rousey to win the Royal Rumble, maybe she might be there. Maybe there's a reason why this little random news just came out of nowhere. I did not expect it. I've been saying Ronda on the pod for a couple months, but I have no information. I just know in my mind that there's money there to be made with Ronda. However, is she needed right now?
Well,
not as much as she was a little while ago. There was a while ago where when she left, I was like, damn, she could be. There's some good matches left on the table. I mean, I still want to see her and Nia Jax. I still want to see her and some other people, but that we're not going to see. Her and Becky, of course, is the main match that we still want to see.
Shayna Baszler is the match.
Ronda and Shayna Baszler, absolutely. The 4 Horsewomen versus 4 Horsewomen match, if we ever happen to get that, would be cool. But do you think this is true? Do you think Ronda's coming back for the Royal Rumble? I didn't hear about this until you just told me before the pod, and I'm excited if she is. Because I think it'll be good.
My thing.
There's a lot of competition in that division right now. I'm just telling you.
But this is what I'm saying. You talking about one title, right? It's hard to beat the star power and the star of Ronda Rousey when this isn't a legitimate combat sport and it's written. They can write Ronda Rousey to be fucking Bruno Sammartino, my nigga. You feel me? The bitch can have the title for like 17 years if they want to write it that way.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's tough. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know, nigga. Like,
this could be Bruno Sammartino. Yeah, I feel you. I get where you're coming from, man. But Ronda, she just had a kid. She's not gonna be champion for 14 years straight. All right. So let her come, let her do her thing, and then she'll be gone again. It'll be a stint, and she can make her bag. And I think she was a great wrestler. So
she did good. She did really good. Now
so
her coming in, being in the ring with Bianca, automatically puts Bianca in a different stratosphere. Her being in the ring.
Bianca versus Ronda, I can't wait. If we get that, I can't wait. Honestly, because Bianca right now, she's still hot as fish grease. She can't be denied. She saw her match with Zelina on Raw. Whenever Bianca's needing to look strong, just put her in the ring with that short Latina from the Bronx. I think she's from the Bronx, right? Or Queens. It's one of those two. And Queens. All right.
I think Queens. Hold on. Let's do a quick Google search.
Yeah, she's from New York, man. She's from New York too. But honestly, those two have chemistry in that ring, even if it's a quick squash match. Come on, Burrows.
Listen, I think at the same time when we're talking about Ronda Rousey being and yes, Queen. She's billed from Queens. All right, Queens. All right, glad we got that
My
one.
bad. Yeah,
Glad we
Queens.
got that corrected, man. Because
Um,
that's just I was like calling a Puerto Rican Mexican. Nigga, you can't. You got to get that.
yo, I
Right?
mean, she ain't Queens anymore. She good. She good.
She's
But
from-
she's from Tampa. But no, they had a great match. I think that those two girls. I mean, it's not great. I'm not. I know I use that figuratively, but these two have chemistry. When you went out, like Bianca looks strong. She went out there. The crowd pops every time Bianca's out there. That's my point. And Zelina is the perfect person to put out there. Hey, quickly go out there, make sure the crowd leaves happy. And they had a great match, good match. Good quick match. And we all knew Bianca's going over, but my point is saying is that Bianca going into the Royal Rumble is still a very, very, very likely winner, possibly. And I also have Bailey as my dark horse pick. So I'm just trying to. That's what I'm going with. I'm sticking with it.
Now, if Ronda Rousey comes and she wins the Royal Rumble, Charlotte and Becky are both champions. She got history with both of them. Who does
That's a good segment. I mean, with them three in the ring and her trying to choose. But I think Becky's the way to go personally. I think they have history.
Becky and Ronda on Raw?
Becky and Ronda on Raw, and I would like Bianca and Charlotte on SmackDown if you guys can figure a way. So maybe Bianca wins it, and then we just have Ronda and Becky do their thing. That's what I would go with. That's what I go. But if Ronda's gonna win, I'm not gonna be mad either.
So with that being said, do you want to do Rumble predictions while we're here?
For sure, let's do it.
All right. So let me pull up the card real quick, and I don't feel like I've been doing a good job producing the show, but I'll get better. I'll get better. Let's see. Royal Rumble card 2022. Okay. So the matches that we have for the card, we have Brock and Bobby. We kind of already booked that. So are you gonna go with?
I'm going with Bobby.
Going Bobby?
Go.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Bobby with you. Bobby
right.
for the win. Bobby for the win.
Yeah.
All right, we got Becky and Doudrop. I just really hope it's a good match. So,
Becky's definitely winning this.
Okay, yes, exactly. We got Grit versus It. For sure, Beth Phoenix and Edge is getting this win for sure. No, they got no chance of losing at the Royal Rumble.
Nah, I feel you. I think it's gonna be them. Edge and Becky gonna get their moment. Edge, not Becky. Best. Excuse me. But yeah, I'll go with the Grit couple.
And then we got Roman and Seth, 1-on-1, no Uso at ringside. I mean, Roman goes ahead and put Seth under the dirt, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Roman wins this.
Okay, all right. Yo, listen. Does Jacob Fatu appear in the WWE soon, or does he?
You would pop if he was in the Royal Rumble, but I doubt it. I know he's a guy who they would take, and they would put him in NXT. I think.
Who is your surprise that you would want to see in the Rumble?
Bailey in the women's Rumble. In the men's, Johnny Knoxville. No. In the men's, I don't see anybody that would be a crazy surprise. You can bring somebody back from the past. I think they're going to bring Undertaker back. Maybe I don't know.
I would say for the women.
You know who would be a surprise? Bray Wyatt. That would be the surprise. If you want to bring Bray back, bring the Fiend back. Yes, I'm with it. But you guys are stupid.
If the Fiend come back, I might suck a baby's dick.
Violation. Time out.
Suck that baby's dick. Somebody suck that baby.
Violation, dog. Oh my god. God. The thing that Bro, flag, man. Flag on the play. Oh Lord. But yeah, the theme, bro. He's that dude. He's that dude. But yeah, we ain't doing that.
Yo, no, the fiend coming back for the Rumble will be crazy. Another thing would be crazy for me, like since this Forbidden Door shit is happening.
Mickey James will be in the Raw. You know,
Kenny Omega appearing in the fucking Rumble will be crazy.
It's not happening, dog. It's not happening anytime soon. It would be crazy. I mean, just fantasy booking, absolutely. People go crazy. People go wild.
Real life surprises.
Real life surprises. Moose, not. They got Mickey James on looking. Moose. Bring Moose to the Royal Rumble. You got Mickey from Impact. Yeah, why not? You know.
You. This nigga said Moose, nigga. Oh,
realistically,
yeah.
Could there be a male Impact star coming in? I don't mean maybe Zack Ryder, probably. I don't know, but yeah, that's it. And then I don't have a winner. I said Big E. I'm sticking with Big E. That's where I would go.
Big E's your winner.
Yeah, but after what they've been doing with him on SmackDown, I'm like probably not shaping up for it to be unless they're trying to swerve us. But hey, maybe he lost to Seth, so maybe it's just he just bounces back, with the Royal Rumble.
And they build a redemption story that way.
Possibly, yeah, the redemption story that way. But
I think AJ's gonna win it.
AJ, okay.
AJ's gonna win it, or I wanted Finn to win it if he was booked stronger, but I think AJ might get it. You know what I'm saying?
AJ and Edge at WrestleMania, would you take it?
No. Okay, absolutely not. I don't. That's what they said. So if that's, listen, somebody who can fucking main event WrestleMania.
AJ and Seth.
AJ and Seth. AJ and Roman. AJ and Brock. I mean,
Roman's coming in as champion, and then if AJ, I don't want to see AJ and Roman at WrestleMania. I've seen them have some really good matches. I don't want to have this high expectation for them at WrestleMania and be like, oh, that was just like their last match or something like that. I'd rather be AJ and an Edge, AJ and a Seth, AJ and a Big E, but I don't know if they'll have.
How would Edge be? Edge will have to be champion if AJ wins the Royal Rumble.
Well, we are going to get Edge versus Bobby at some point. So if you want to put the title on Bobby,
how are we going to get Edge and Bobby? You think so?
Edge is the biggest babyface on Raw. Who's the biggest heel on Raw? Seth. We've already seen that.
No,
I think it's Bobby.
I think if AJ goes full babyface, there's nobody a bigger babyface than AJ Styles.
AJ Styles and Bobby Lashley?
Oh wow. AJ Styles and Bobby Lashley will bang. I know AJ would throw himself around like a motherfucker for that movie.
Yeah. That's a possibility. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going with Big E. I'm going to stick with it. I know it probably won't happen, but
I mean, if Big E wins it, he can go Big E and Roman at Mania.
I like that.
Big E and Roman at Mania. You know what I'm saying? And Big E can be the one who topples fucking Roman after everything he done did to his brothers and shit like that. We can get Big E back on SmackDown with the New Day, and then we can just run that shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Because Edge is going to be in the picture somehow going into WrestleMania. I just know. I think that's what this Miz is gonna hold him over for, and then he's gonna come back and say, "Listen, it's WrestleMania season. I want to be champion again." So I think Bobby Edge, AJ Edge,
I don't need
either
a championship match at WrestleMania, bro. We already got it. He got
okay,
it.
maybe not. I could be wrong.
I mean, he can have a WrestleMania match. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't put him on
Okay,
the card. No, I'm not saying that. So if that's the case, if AJ and Edge want to have a match at Mania, they can have a match at Mania. Just don't have it for the title because I don't think that's WrestleMania worthy.
I got you.
Now, if we want to talk about like, okay, so if Bobby wins and beats Brock, he's the champion on Raw. Who can win the Rumble and face fucking Bobby Lashley for the title or challenge Bobby Lashley for the title? Who do you see on Raw right now that can do that and challenge him for the title?
Edge. That's it. Really, Edge and AJ. Edge and AJ. Both of those two guys. Edge
Edge,
and AJ.
okay, Edge and AJ versus Bobby, and then
And Biggie would have to have to like, do something like win the elimination chamber or something like he he's been demoted it seems like, but they can be heated. He has to be heated back up. That's why I want him to win the Royal Rumble. But yeah, those three guys, AJ, Biggie, Seth. AJ, Biggie, Edge. But Seth is there too. Because if he's lost to Roman, then I would like to see what he does next. But maybe him and AJ can do something. I possibly would see them even being in WrestleMania with no title on the line. So there's a lot of options. Raw is where everybody went. There's even KO. We don't even talk about him enough. But looks like he's doing something with Damian Priest at the moment.
yeah, I think that fits for KO right now. KO and Damian, that's a great program to have on SmackDown, and I'm sorry, on Raw. And right now, to be honest, yo, like, do you see Roman fucking losing the title at Rumble and then winning the Rumble? Some Becky Lynch type shit. How Becky lost the title to
That'd be cool. I can see that. I mean, he takes his claim as a tribal chief. I can't see it happening really because I think he's gonna beat Seth. I think that you don't have
Absolutely.
Seth be the guy who beats Roman.
Absolutely.
But I could be completely off base with that. But that's definitely a creative way to get to Roman winning the Royal Rumble and getting that heat. Again. So because people are like, okay, who's gonna be, and then it ends up being him again. It's like, oh fuck, we got to deal with this guy still. So yeah, I think that's a great way to book it as well. However. It all matters about what's the end goal with Roman and WrestleMania, if that's the case. And Roman at WrestleMania, if it's not The Rock this year, I would say Bobby. I want to see those two clash. You guys for the past 2 years on Raw and SmackDown. We have not seen.
So does Bobby lose to Brock and does he win the Rumble?
That could work. That could work. That could work too, man. There's so much options. But I want to see Roman and Bobby at WrestleMania.
Ooh.
I would see Brock and Big E, Brock and Edge, Brock and AJ, Brock or whoever. I don't want him in the title picture because he's, I think the bang for your buck is Bobby and Roman. If you're talking about what we've built so far, have Brock deal with mess with Big E or something, or somebody younger who's coming up, maybe AJ, or even, if you want to just do a legend versus legend Edge match, cool. Then you have the other title, Seth and AJ. And somehow you get the title on Seth, with the Elimination Chamber or something, So yeah, let's say you that's what I would book for WrestleMania, and then you got Bayley and Charlotte WrestleMania, and then we got Ronda and Becky, but Ronda, Becky, and Bianca, because Bianca just cannot be denied.
There's so much talent, nigga. That's how I don't see how you can have one title, man.
Well, I mean, it would have to be, if they say it was one title, I would go with Bobby and Roman in the main event. With the woman, I would have it be Bianca, Becky, and Ronda as the main event. Charlotte, it would have a long program with Shotzi and have them do their one-off match, and then we have tag team division where we have to get them on the air. I'll give Naomi and maybe Liv a gimmick, put them in the tag team division or something like that. So that's what I would do. You know. So I'm being real. I just booked it for you. If you can do with it, you can do it. But that's all the women on the roster, and then everybody else got to find a spot, whether they're the women's battle royal or whatever it may be, you know. And Shayna is, I would love to put Shayna in that spot, but she's not there yet, you know. But you know, she's the battle royal chick right now. That's how they treat her. Naomi and Sonya would be great too. So Sonya gets a tag partner, Liv and Naomi get their thing popping as a tag team, and then you know, they square it off at WrestleMania.
Man.
Sasha, this is Sasha still injured, by the way. Otherwise, it's Sasha and Naomi together. Team Bad Reunion versus Sonya Deville and whoever. Sonya Deville and Liv. If Liv gets, I don't know, onto SmackDown somehow. Or not even Liv. You want to put freaking Natalya there? For sure, go for it. But you can do it with one title. My point is, that's a whole long way to say that. You can do it with one title. And it wasn't a bad card, right? It wasn't bad.
That's not a Mania card, I can tell you that.
Fuck out of here.
That's not a Mania card, bro. Listen. Alright, so shit, we kind of did a little bit of we like this Thursday. SmackDown comes out tomorrow. It's the go home show for Rumble. I really don't care for it. Rumble Saturday. We just booked the Rumble. We damn near booked WrestleMania. Listen, NXT. I don't know who this Oli J chick is, nigga, but the internet was going crazy.
I told you about her months ago. I was like, hey, there's a girl who's coming. They found her in I spotted her a mile away.
Hold on, tell this story, nigga. Because if you said it on the podcast, we have to listen to every.
It was what we're talking about.
Let's say it, nigga.
How they were finding talent outside of, you know, indie wrestling and promotions like that, and they were out in Vegas. I think the week of SummerSlam.
SummerSlam was in Vegas. Yeah.
SummerSlam, the week of SummerSlam, and they had her get signed. And I was like, hey, there's a girl who's coming that might get over. She can talk. And she has a look.
She damn sure came rap. I need to hear her talk before I hear her rap, nigga.
Oh, she rapped?
Hold on, you ain't see NXT, nigga?
Oh, I don't know who Oli Jade is. Okay, you talking about that girl with the big titties that came out there as an artist?
Yes,
right?
nigga.
I did not call out her. No.
Okay, who were you just talking about?
Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. Moving on, Corey, what? Oli J. That was one hell of a performance. Woo! NXT 2.0.
Oh shit!
Oli J. Yo, she out
man.
That was epic.
That nigga said.
I was like, rap.
Oh, bruh, that's like one of us diving and the other one not catching us. Nigga, we were just on a different plane.
Forget about it.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Oli Jade.
Are you talking about Tiffany, bruh? The blonde head chick?
Oh yeah, her. She seems like she's a. Wait, no, not talking about her. No, I'm not talking about her actually.
Okay.
Forget about it. I'll get back to you next part on that.
Okay.
I'm super big right now. Anyways,
NXT 2.0, Oli Jade. She was the talk of the town from the show. That performance was
trash.
crazy, ridiculous.
I skipped through it. I couldn't take it. I had to see. I saw like 2 minutes and I was like because I watched it the day afterwards, so I didn't have to sit through it.
Yeah.
I gave her a shot. I gave her a shot though. I didn't like just skip her just off of like, oh, they're doing music on NXT. I actually tried to watch it and I was like, no, it wasn't for me.
I, I,
But apparently she is NXT. She
but
says so.
I hope that she's bad on purpose, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like if she's like bad on purpose, because like I'm gonna be honest, that was good. If she was bad on purpose, you feel me? Right? If we gonna talk about like you know what I'm saying?
In
Like,
a weird way, yeah.
if she was fantastic at being bad on purpose, my nigga. You know?
That might get over. That's a gimmick. I think it worked for Jillian Hall. I think that she has it. I think she has something. If she is NXT, go for it. Go out there and be really bad. But
Yo, Jillian Hall got over though, bro.
yeah,
Jillian
she
Hall got
worked.
over.
People didn't want to hear her.
And I think somebody posted it too, and I wanna say it here. I forgot who did. So y'all hear the podcast, let us know so we can give you credit. But I think it might have been Tiger Driver that might have said it. Where
whenever you don't know, it's like Tiger Driver.
they did it. Whatever.
They're the go-to.
They're the go-to guys. They was like, why, you can not like 2.0, but if you like the Divas era, this is a replication of that and giving those girls more time in the ring to kind of like wrestle and get over and shit like that. So I'm like in a roundabout way that because the Divas era, those girls got busy. And those
I'm not a fan of Divas era. I'm not.
Huh?
So I get it. If you like that stuff,
yeah, the Lake Cool and
if you like that stuff, because the girls are, they're very pretty. They can do a little bit of wrestling. Choreography in the ring. And they can give it a little bit of drama and all that stuff. Cool. If you like that, you might get it on NXT 2.0 with what they're doing with Toxic Attraction. But that's not for me. Like, and I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a reason why I see Mandy Rose and I see that. And I'm like, not so much. And I see a Liv Morgan, I can say, oh, she's a short blonde chick too, but I can see like there's something there you can build upon as far as a wrestling aspect.
Yeah.
So I love the look. You can have a look, but I always want more from those people. I think Trish Stratus was somebody who bridged the gap perfectly.
She worked really hard though to do that.
Yeah, she did. She worked really hard to figure out her style and her presentation and make it work. And I'm not saying that it can't work with these girls. I think they're her two girls aside, Mandy Rose, honestly, are a little bit more polished than she is, and they're brand new to NXT, 2.0. So with time, I think we have something with Toxic Attraction. I did see their match on NXT. I liked it, but the two matches that on NXT that stole the show for me was shout out to MSK. All day. And then with Jacket Time, man, they tore the house down, man. And that's why I'm saying tag team wrestling, man, it gets you going, man. Especially when you got a team like MSK in there, high pace, high action, high octane, and then they go against a high octane team like Jacket Time with, two professionals and Kushida and what's his name?
I don't know how to say. I don't know how to pronounce it.
But the guy with the jackets, and I'm sorry, I gotta look it up. I can't. I gotta look it up, man, because we high. I gotta give you I gotta say your name.
Hold on, and because I've been looking at Idris' name too, because that's coming up next, and I've been trying to practice it in my head, nigga. So I feel you, nigga.
Yeah. Ikimenjaro, excuse me. But they had chemistry, man, and they tore it down. That was the best match of the night. They stole the show. definitely look out for my bangers because they possibly should be on it. It was awesome match. We also had
MSK. Hold on, excuse me. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
MSK. And do you feel like they have done everything they need to in NXT and it's time to move them?
Nah, I want them to win it again. Honestly,
What?
I think MSK. I think MSK has another run to. I think they have another year in NXT. I think they can really do a lot more and win the titles again. I think that's what I would like to see personally. Now, I know the main roster needs them though, but with Imperium at the top right now, MSK chasing is a good look.
Absolutely.
It works.
Absolutely.
It works for me, and I think that MSK, when they finally get the titles back, they're gonna be fully formed, fully as a an act, I guess you can say, or the time they're giving them on screen. So I think they have more time in NXT. I do, and I kind of like what they're doing with them, and I like where they're going with it. And they obviously can go in that ring. So whenever they're out there, it's spectacular.
Well,
we were there when they lost it that night. I was like, oh,
that match was fantastic.
It was awesome. They tore it down that night too. So I want to see them again, Imperium and MSK. But they got to win a Dusty Rhodes Classic. And the next guys they're up against is Malik Blade and, like you were trying to say, Idris and Nofe.
Come on. Thank you for assisting me on that, man. Yeah, dude.
I don't know if that's Nigerian, but shout out to you if you are. If you're not, shout out to you because you're black. We support everybody black here. And we're booking black. These two young men who were the bracket busters in the Dusty Road Classics. Where do you see them going, and what do you think about these two young men?
All right, so this is why I'm glad that I kind of diverged you from the conversation where it was going, because you said that you would like to see MSK win the Dusty. I want these guys to win the Dusty.
Ooh, okay.
I want them to gain chemistry, and I want them to be able to put on a banger of a match with Imperium. Now, I know it's going to look a little crazy to have German white dudes beat up on black guys, but what I'm trying to say is this is what I would want.
I wasn't even thinking that.
I know. This is what I would want. I would want the Creed brothers to interfere in this upcoming match. And then I will want MSK to return the favor in the finals where the Creed brothers would wrestle
and
because I think the Creed brothers are going to beat Grizzled Young Veterans. I know a lot of people say that they would like Grizzled Young Veterans to win. It's their time to win the Dusty Cup. You know what I mean? Grizzled Young Veterans versus the Creed brothers.
I've been saying that too, but I can't wait. I want to see the match. I like that we're not getting we got like the heel bracket and the face bracket.
Exactly.
So the main event will be either those heel teams versus these babyface teams, and we're getting babyface matches. The only one that I thought was not babyface was Legado del Fantasma, and to me, I think that I would take these two men and I would pair them with Braun Breaker and have them get over with Braun Breaker after, losing the Dusty Cup. Not that he needs them, but to go up against Legado del Fantasma in a match or anything like that. Not like for a whole, month, but like maybe like 2 matches or so. They come to his aid, and they, get chemistry as a tag team, like you said.
So you want them to take Ciampa's role?
Take Ciampa's role?
Ciampa came out to help him at the end of NXT. Did you see?
Oh no, I didn't see that. Ciampa helped
Braun Breaker. Yeah.
Did I finish NXT?
Damn, Braun Breaker, nigga.
There's a lot of wrestling, man. Oh my god! I thought that Ciampa might save him, but I didn't know. Okay, so my bad. I didn't know that. Okay, then yeah, I thought that that's what I would have bucked them, but now that's not relevant anymore. But if they're not, I still wouldn't have to win a Dusty quite yet. I think they still need to get some more chemistry. on the mic. Right now, they did a promo backstage. It was more about hitting on Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction than it was about their
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah,
and
you know, with
as a tag team.
that type of male masculinity, toxicity. Yeah, I mean, like, nah, you need to be knocked down a peg. You misogynistic pig. You lose.
I mean, I don't mind them finding their way like that. And it's like, oh, she wouldn't date me anyway. You know, you can figure it out. But that's not a
Nah,
tag team
nah. I think
gimmick.
no.
Like,
I would honestly. So honestly, not winning the Dusty, but I will have them beat MSK. I will have them lose the Dusty, and I will have them gain equity as a tag team and build themselves as a tag team. I want them to kind of form a name, kind of form and I want them to be one of those organic tag teams that you say is more than just Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. They became the Street Profits. I want them to be something that they can form as them. I want them to have a. They need a signature win. That's
they
it.
need a signature move.
That's
I
it.
think that's what they really need is a signature move to really get them over. And I think that once they get then they can get more. Then they can get more wins. I mean, they can. They they just started this tag team, so when we can get like, oh snap, and when MK does their push move, right? You can see that, you can remember that immediately, and then over time they've built their act, to the point where they have this high octane energy, and they're funny guys. So I believe that over time they're building that. Let them take their time and build it. Once they get that finishing move, then we can get to the character development and who you guys are. Because right now you are the bracket busters, and you can take you guys are the dark horse. It's just you're brand new, but I think that they have some potential. Absolutely. I saw them face each other on 205 Live. They had a good match, against each other, and so they got skill. They just got to figure out their tag chemistry now.
Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying?
Bam, nigga.
Yeah, I'm saying. And listen, I want to let all y'all know we got another black tag team to root for. So
We coming for you, nigga.
yeah, we,
Okay. This guy. Oh my god, that's funny as hell.
okay, so anything else from NXT? Do I need to tell you the rest of the show? Because clearly,
I saw Solo Sikoa. I watched. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I watched everything. I didn't see Tom Tommaso, but I saw Solo Sikoa and Boa tear it down in a no false count anywhere match. It was a banger as well. And for guys just going out there and brawling and just leaving it all out there. And I think that Solo Sikoa had a good victory. It reminds me of when we had like the Samoa Joe and Bull Dempsey matches and shit like that, like where there's just two horses going out there and beating each other up, or Samoa Joe and Baron Corbin and giving just brawling. And to get over Solo Sikoa, the Street Fighter, that they're trying to get him over as, he needs to brawl.
Fighting in the ring, you know what I'm saying?
He just needs to
That's not
brawl.
in the street, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I like it. I think people need to. I mean, hey, you get the Uso things are his brother. People are chanting Uso still, but he needs something for himself solo. If you really want to be solo, So yeah, shout out to them. They had a good match, and yeah, you said that you had some more information on Tommaso and Braun Breaker. I must have missed that angle, but you tell me about that. What happened really?
At the end of the night, Braun Breaker went outside. That Phantasma came out and they in the truck about to ambush the nigga 3-on-1, and it was like, you ain't got no friends, and Tommaso walks in frame, and then they get in the car and scamper, and Braun and Tommaso do the little fist bump, and so it looks like it's gonna be a little 3-on-2 action. You know what I mean? Just to kind of continue to give Braun that kind of push,
Yeah, absolutely. Braun and Tommaso versus Legado. I'm here for it. I like what they're doing with the Santos Escobar. He's great. He honestly fits the bill for a main event player. The way he comes off in the ring, the way he comes off, as a performer all around. And then you have the beautiful Elektra Lopez by your side, and then you got you two Earl Metton. I don't want to say the wrong name.
J&J Security.
Your J&J security. But you got the tag team guys that former tag champions. Um, I forgot their name, Raul and the DJ Kid. You know, Mendoza. Yeah, I know his name. What? That's so funny.
Oh my god. You have to struggle in the back half of the show, five figure.
Listen, man, I'm high as fuck right now.
All right,
But yeah, no, they're doing well.
let's
Shout out to Lagado for the whole act works for me. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Now we covered a little bit of AEW. But there is one thing I want to get to. What the fuck are you talked about? You don't get you get Orange Cassidy. Get Orange Cassidy away from Adam Cole. Okay? I need Adam Cole to do something of worthiness because what he's doing.
You're just mad because he went to AEW. That's what they'll tell you, man.
I'm not mad that he went to AEW. I promise you. I am not mad that he went to AEW. I'm happy that he went to AEW. I heard that he make about like 400,000 on Twitch or 500,000 on Twitch. So he get to go to AEW, be with his bitch, be with his friends, get his money and the contract there, get his Twitch money,
man.
Do whatever you
living the dream, man.
So I'm not mad he went to AEW. What I am mad about is that all those great wrestlers there at AEW, they put him with Orange Cassidy.
Who would you put him with right now?
Look at that roster. Bro, I look at that roster. Look at that roster. I don't know. Nigga, pick him out of a hat. Just take Orange Cassidy name out of it. You know what I mean? Like the nigga can wrestle anybody on that roster, bro. You know what I mean? Like he's been.
Just hate Orange Cassidy.
Hold on, Jungle Boy and Orange Cassidy has been Adam Cole's fuse, bro. What I'm telling you is that listen.
You gotta be patient, man. Be patient. Here's the thing right now, and then I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you exactly why he's with Orange Cassidy and Jungle Boy. And mind you, these guys are guys who all he's putting them on. They're younger guys who are having good matches with him. Like he hasn't missed. You know, he's still Adam Cole. He hasn't missed. If you're paying attention, he's had good matches with you guys. But I'll tell you what's going on. You got Hangman Page as your champion right now. You gotta take your time with this. Get Hangman Page a proper run. He was a guy you bet your horse on when you started this company. He has the title right now. Go with it. Him and Lance Archer. Hopefully it slaps in the Texas Death Match. I'm there for it. Now, Adam Cole right now, he's attached to the Young Bucks. Give him another group of people to fight with for now. And the best friends weren't doing nothing. This is a perfect time to see what they got going to establish them as a group. Establish Adam Cole with his friends again. Kenny Omega's not here anymore. Establish this little niche. Bring Britt Baker into the fold, and they have their own. Bring the Red Dragon in. They have their own thing right now. Build this over time with an opposing group like the Best Friends, and then get them over. And then when the time is right, you can put the title on Adam Cole. Because I know you're waiting for that, and you know your face is waiting for the Adam Cole's Daniel Bryan's, Adam Cole's MJF, Adam Cole Hangman, Adam Cole Kenny. You want that? It's coming. But they gotta heat them up first, and also in the meantime, you don't want to take somebody else's spot while they earned it.
Hold on, you can't say take somebody else while somebody earned it. Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole came in the same fucking time. Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan had feuded they feuded. Bryan Danielson surpassed Adam Cole and has had 2 fucking title matches, 2 of them. And you telling me Adam Cole is nowhere to be found around the motherfucking title, bro?
He gonna come for that soon. Maybe I think give it a month, maybe 2. I think Adam Cole versus Hangman Page will be a great feud. But then once we get down the line, it's gonna have to go to MJF down sometime this year. I asked my prediction is that MJF is that dude. And you said he was lowbrow last week. He's not very lowbrow. He's just different on that microphone, boy. And him and CM Punk, I'm totally excited for that match.
Oh my god,
I loved it. It was great. It was great.
It was okay. I mean, okay. I get it. Now we got the physicality. Now we actually got the match. The match is going to happen in Chicago. It did take a long time. I'm not complaining about that.
But they probably saw it on the calendar, like, all right, we got to get this all the way to freaking end of January, February. Like we got to stretch this shit out because you want to have it in Chicago for it to mean something.
It was good booking. It was good booking, and like I said, it was long, but it got the job done. You know what I mean? So
The
I mean,
stakes are high. Is CM Punk gonna win in his hometown? Is MJF gonna beat him in his hometown and end his career? I think that without having a title involved, they couldn't have done this any better. Honestly.
listen, Britt Baker, lovely promo, absolutely fantastic, but you're getting boring. Okay, and the reason why you're getting boring is because that women's division that you talked about, that you put on the map, you ran through, and a great challenger that she could have faced right now, Swole, and I'm gonna say it louder, Swole, nigga, Swole. After you go through Ruby Soho, after you go through Thunder Rosa, after you go through Anna Jay, after you wrestle everybody and you talk that fucking promo, the music that should have fucking hit to interrupt you to fucking then solidify your title run because she's the fucking one who made it, or fucking legitimize a fucking contender to where she can topple you. But Swole and Britt Baker was something that we were owed, was something was something that fucking would make Britt Baker matter, because right now that shit is trash.
I think that the Swole Britt Baker dynamic is what started this Britt Baker run, and the chemistry started to build. That's where we saw the DMD come full circle, where they had that match in her dentist's office. So bringing it full circle with Swole till now, and her coming in challenging Britt Baker, you hit the nail on the head, man. It would work right now. But right now, you're right. She had to come out there, cut that promo, fucking shit on Cleveland, which was funny as hell. And then nobody freaking came out to talk their shit. So are you completely depleted on the women's division in the top heavy division you're trying to make it with the TBS championship being there now? Where are we going to go with Britt? I can wrap this shit one more time. We go and get it. Oh, I thought
that was
got the beat.
My bad.
All right, no. But no, it was a good promo still, and she talked that shit. I mean, DMD is one of the most over things in AEW right now going, and it's not stopping anytime soon. So I don't mind her talking her shit.
I don't mind her talking her shit, but what I do mind is that, listen, who's there? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it needs to that kind of needs to be addressed, because
I said Serena Deeb. You know who they got? They got Red Velvet. Give her another shot.
You just got her ass taken out by Minnie Baszler out there.
Minnie Baszler. Baszler, mini me.
Man. Anything else that we gotta cover for the week?
Nah. I mean, we got our Royal Rumble predictions. We got Talk Raw, NXT, AEW.
SmackDown predictions.
I know that Bubba Ray was talking some shit about John Moxley. He said he had to come,
I don't even address it. We're blocked, so I don't give a fuck about that man.
Oh, okay. He sees competition. I see.
Huh?
He sees competition. He's blocking them.
Oh my
God. Yeah, just shout out to everybody in the wrestling sphere, honestly. And have a good Royal Rumble. We're going to be live, so join us live on YouTube during the Royal Rumble. We'll talk our shit and, join us to just, eat Zaxby's and watch wrestling. So we'll see all the surprises and returns and all that shit together live on YouTube if you guys are with us. Check out, the rants, check out the bangers, just thank you for tuning in. RW Podcast 1 on Twitter.
Come on.
Instagram, Reasonable Wrestling.
Come on.
Wrestling. And that's it. All is love. Everything is wrestling. Check out uiwshop.com. And we'll see y'all next week.
Peace out.